she coming back? Okay, we start. I'm gonna speak a little before starting anyway. Okay. So Kambawa, Nicolas Des, Franz Des, Frangin Des, Shigoto wa Eigo no Kyoshi Des, International Club Des. Arigatou gozaimasu. Presentation is not going to be in Japanese. I'm learning Japanese. Thank you for my dear Japanese teacher here, Toshiko-san. Thank you for teaching me. Okay, so thank you for coming tonight. Okay, and thank you indirectly for giving me the opportunity, Kaori, to go through all my pictures this week. I had a lot of work. There was a very nice experience because I've been traveling for 2 years and 3 months now. I mean, on and off, but mainly traveling. So I've got a lot of pictures, and you know, in this digital time, we tend to take a lot of pictures, but like we put them into folders in a computer, and we hardly watch them again. So it was a good chance for me to take and to watch all these pictures and to select them to give this presentation tonight. So it's going to last for about 40-45 minutes, hopefully not more. I hope it's not going to be too boring. So it's a selection of pictures classified by themes. I'm going to explain to you very soon. And I'm dressed in a traditional Tibetan outfit for the presentation. So that's about it. So if you can switch off the lights, we can get started. All of them. Keep this one. Okay. So everyone can see? Yes. Okay. So please, I'm gonna try to speak slowly, okay, so everyone can understand. But don't worry, you don't have to understand everything, okay, because it's very visual. If you have any questions, please try not to ask them during the presentation, but keep them in mind or write them down, whatever you want, and then we have plenty of time after the presentation to talk about anything you want. Okay? Do you have any questions? Okay. So everyone can see? Sorry, I'm gonna stay here. Okay, Teacher on the Road, that's the name I gave to what was like a project in the first place, to go around the world, mainly by land, overland, okay, or by sea, but without taking a plane, if possible. I'd done that before, and I wanted to experience traveling in a different way for this journey. So I started in September 2012, and I don't know when I'm gonna finish. Okay, so I wasn't born in 2012. So what I did before quickly, I had some academic credentials, I mean like university diplomas and stuff, okay? It's not important right now. So I did study a lot in a formal, normal way, okay? What is Voiron? Voiron, it's a place in France because I emancipated, I left my parents' place quite young. I mean, I came back, but like let's say I was 19 and I became a professional basketball coach, okay? And then afterwards I went back to university. But the most important part is the fact that I studied the University of Life, okay, which is experiencing life and learning about life every day, because as Simon said, every day is beautiful. So before starting this journey, I had traveled 16 countries. It's not so many, relatively to, I mean, the number of countries in the world. And I had more than 50 jobs in France, Réunion Island, that's a small island close to Madagascar. New Zealand, Australia, and the Netherlands, Holland. So that's the picture before is in New Zealand, and this is in Australia. So I lived 3 months at Réunion Island, 15 months in New Zealand, mainly 2 cities, Dunedin, and that's Simon's hometown, by the way, and Nelson. Australia 1 year, in Cairns, Port Douglas, and Perth, and Broome actually. Well, anyway, so I travelled. I mean, overland. I had a camper van in New Zealand, so I travelled 15,000 kilometers. It's quite a lot because it's not such a big country. And 15,000 kilometers in Australia as well, overland. So travelling all around, mainly 4-wheel drive. And in Amsterdam 1 year. That was before the journey, this journey. And overall, I'm a citizen of the world and a child of the universe, because we all come from the universe, from the stars. So, yeah, basically, like the global ideas about it is true, we have different countries and flags and nationalities, but when you travel, you realize that the Earth is just a planet. And it's a beautiful planet, and we tend to forget it. Yeah, Albert Einstein said, I have no special talents, I'm only passionately curious. So I don't pretend I'm Albert Einstein, but like I'm passionately curious too. So yeah, what society wants me to think is like quite formal. What I think is just an image to give you, like, because I always had, I always thought differently, and I wanted to explore the world. When people wanted to have a normal life and to have a normal job and to get married and have kids, which is nice. I mean, everyone has their own way. But like I always wanted to see the world and to see it for myself. So teacher on the road. That's me in Mongolia, hitchhiking. Where, how, what, why, and then. So this is my hometown. This is Nice. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know when I'm gonna see it again, but it's a beautiful city located 30 kilometers from Italy in the south of France, southeast. And this is another view from the other way. The first picture was taken from this here, and the other one from my former flat apartment. Okay, so this is my map. I mean, the map of my journey until now. Okay. So now I told you 2 years and 3 months on the road, about 49,000 kilometers, 19 countries. About 40 days in Europe, 75 days in the Middle East, Turkey and Iran, 6 months in India, 1 year in Nepal, 3 months in Tibet this year, starting in June to September, Tibet, China, Mongolia and Russia. Japan, I don't know. But I've got some of my students in the room, so I'm going to stay here for at least 6 months and we see how it goes. Why is it? Okay, quickly. Uniqueness, because I've met thousands of travelers in my life. I even used to work in hotels and guest houses, and I've hardly met people like me. So it's not saying, anytime I'm saying something like that, it's not better or worse, but it's just a fact. And we're all unique, we all have different personality types, okay? So we all have our own way in life. So what I do is different. Impermanence, well, that's complicated words, don't worry about them. But that means basically I have no plan. I take whatever life gives me, okay? And because when on the road you never know what's gonna happen, the more you make plans, the less it works. So you just take whatever comes to you, and it works this way, at least for my part. Unknown, few. Why? Because most of the time people are scared of things they don't know, of things they can't control. And for my part, it's very exciting. I mean, not to know what's going to happen next. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go. Money. How? Well, it's not for me. There are people so poor that the only thing they have is money. I started with about $500 US, but mainly for visas and borders. I mean, border crossings, so I didn't use them very much. I spent about $30 US from Nice to Bandar Abbas, which is south of Iran. $50 to Dubai, because I hadn't used the money for the Pakistani visa. I couldn't cross Pakistan at the time because the visa was very difficult to get. So I saved some money so I could get the boat to Dubai, where I wanted to. If you can listen, that would be lovely. Sorry, you can give tea and stuff, but if you can listen at the same time, that's nice. So I couldn't cross Pakistan, so I went to Dubai to get a boat to India, because remember, I didn't want to fly. So turning point in India, why? Because I was about to die. I was in a very bad condition. I had lost a lot of weight because I spent almost zero money in 4 months, okay? And I decided to change, not to be stuck, I mean to open my mind and to travel differently. So then I started doing some volunteering in India. Overall, I spent about $2,000 for about 9 months traveling, all together, all inclusive, plus 6 months of volunteering. How? So this is me camping in Mongolia. Mongolia again. Hitchhiking. About 17,000 kilometers. 16 countries. More than 300 hours. And more than 100 rides. On cars, trucks, taxis, and motorbikes sometimes. This is me hitchhiking in Czech Republic. I've just selected a few pictures, there are many, so just to give you an idea. This is with the police, it happened as well, but very cool people too. That's in Turkey. I was traveling with a Serbian friend from Serbia, and they gave us a ride to a better spot, and we had a bus ride for free thanks to the police. This is, I'm the last one on the motorbike, so we're 4 people on the motorbike in India. It's quite a common thing to do there. This is in Mongolia, no road. This is in Russia. This is the last big hitchhiking journey. 3,700 kilometers from Lake Baikal to Vladivostok. So I spent 4 days sleeping on the truck, on this truck. So this was the driver, and this is a Russian girl I met on the way. This is me in Mongolia, Japan. A train, so that came lately. I started in India, mainly, so about 14,000 kilometers. India, Tibet, China, Mongolia, and Japan. More than 220 hours. This is a train in India, so like quite different from Japan. So not the best condition of traveling. Well, this is India. Everything is possible in India. So this is just a baby. It was left there. So the parents, they just like hung the sarong, whatever it is, and they left the baby and they went somewhere. So China, some pictures. This is me playing the guitar, busking in front. I was waiting for my train, so I just played the guitar in front of the train station. in Zhejiang, China. So meeting a lot of people. I mean, mainly China was about meeting people, locals on the train. This is when I arrived in Mongolia, in Ulaanbaatar. Yeah, very interesting. Bus. So this is a bus in Nepal. You have quite, I mean, you can see people on the top of the bus, on the bus rack. About 12,000 kilometers. Iran, India, Nepal, and Tibet. More than 300 hours. This is a typical bus. They like to customize it in India and Nepal with locals. Fixing the bus, I mean, you never know when you're gonna arrive. People everywhere. By boat, so not so much. So just 1,100 kilometers from Vladivostok to Sakaminato in Japan. So first to Donghai in South Korea, and then Donghai to Sakaminato in Japan. The Pacific Ocean, I'm supposed to cross it by boat, but I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes next year. Camping. Iran, Mongolia, Russia and Japan. So not so much relatively, 18 nights, because you're gonna see why. This is, but always like magical places, very special time. This is Lake Baikal, my first night in Russia. This is Mongolia, like some yaks in the background. This is Mongolia. Iran in the desert, the stars. So why not so much? Because I mean, in terms of camping, because of couchsurfing. So quickly, couchsurfing is it's a website like Facebook, for instance, for example, and you have a profile and it's all over the world, and you can ask people, okay, I'm coming to, this is in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. You say, okay, I'm coming to Ulaanbaatar. Can you host me? Can I stay at your place for 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 1 week? I stay with these people for 2 weeks in total. So it ranges from 1 night to 2 weeks. And it's very convenient. It's very nice because you can stay with locals. And so you have your own guides. It's free. You can cook. It's very interesting, and you can do it everywhere. In 11 countries, more than 80 nights. This is with some couchsurfing friends in Bulgaria, in around Sofia, who are hiking. This is couchsurfing in Turkey. Or sometimes random. So what does it mean? Well, it means that sometimes I just met people on the street or when hitchhiking. So this is in Prague, in Czech Republic. So I didn't know where I was going to sleep, and I just started playing the guitar on the street. And after 3 hours, I met these 2 ladies, and so I could actually, she's a couchsurfer. And she isn't, and I could stay at their place with their family. They had never hosted any foreigner in the countryside of Prague, and so I could stay for a week. A beautiful country too. We are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically. So what? People. Okay, this is during like Holi in Kathmandu. Iran. So now I'm going to show you like some people. We're just going through photos, okay? So by themes we have people, culture, art, architecture and nature. So this, now we start with people, okay? So these are all friends. I mean, mainly friends, or sometimes random people. Iran. So this is interesting because, like in Iran, like people have to wear the burqa, like this turban thing. But like this is in Hormuz Island. It's a small island in the Persian Gulf, so people don't care about it. So this is a child, a girl without the burqa. It's quite meaningful. India. So like kids, I mean not this epoch, I mean this time of history, we usually kids have a lot of things, and especially we can talk about it as it's Christmas time. And in these places, I mean, they just play with random toys. I mean, they just play with shoes and they're happy. They have nothing, no phones, no computer, hardly a place to live, and they just, you see them smiling and happy all the time. This is in still India, northern India, so like we're getting into the Himalayas. So you can see like the faces are changing. Nepal. This is with the Sherpa family. Sherpa is like very close to Tibetan people. He's still in India and Nepal, but like same culture, and Buddhists most of the time. This is very much Nepal because you can see people that look like more like Indian people, and people who look like more like Chinese people. The Sherpa girl, like was trekking, hiking in the Himalayas. Baby Sherpa. This is a Rai woman. It's a special culture in the Himalayas. Tibet, Tibetan woman. China. Every day is Earth Day. Mongolia. So this is inside the yurt. You're gonna see like pictures, but you can see it's very modern. I mean, this is a Mongolian family I met on the trail. Mongolian girl, Mongolian family. So this is the countryside. I mean, Mongolia is a lot about the countryside. Okay, so you have a lot of shepherds and a lot of horses. This is me with traditional Mongolian outfit and friends. We met on the train as well, and like he invited me at his place in the countryside for a few days. So they're milking the horse. I mean the mare. So to make a drink called irig, and they're drinking all day long. It's very strong. It's very strong. It tastes like very like liquid, strong cheese. So if you don't like strong cheese, you wouldn't like it. And you can, if you drink too much, you can get drunk, or you can feel dizzy. And they have huge bowls, like sometimes 1 liter, and they're drinking in like 2 minutes, very quickly. This is Russian friends. It's a family. I just met them like this. And I was meant to have a shower at their place, and I stayed 4 days. Lovely people. Actually, they're from Romania, but they moved to Russia 8 years ago. Japan. Shikoku. This is Shikoku. This is three generations. Okay, so culture, art and architecture. So I wanted to show you a bit of Europe for those who have never seen that. So this is Amsterdam. It was very cool at that time. Very, very cool city. With a lot of bikes. This is Berlin. With the wall. So that's the eastern wall, eastern part of the wall. You have 1.3 kilometers with just graffitis. This is Vienna. Well, just one picture. I don't have so many pictures, but I'll just to show you. This is Prague. Very beautiful place. This is Budapest. This is Belgrade, Serbia. This is Sofia, capital city of Bulgaria. It's a lot of culture. This is Istanbul. A lot of cats everywhere. It's true, I mean everywhere. With the Bosphorus Strait. So like, this is Europe and this is Asia. Istanbul by night. This is Cappadocia. Okay, like people living in, like inside the rock, inside the mountains. This is a mosque in eastern Turkey. It's called Anatolia Plateau. So this is about 30 kilometers from the Iranian border. Beautiful place as well. This is Iran, in a mosque. People praying. Bazaar. This is the oldest bazaar in Iran and probably one of the oldest bazaars in the world, in Tabriz. It's 400 years old. With like a lot of shops and can buy food, clothes, everything. It's still Tabriz. Oh yeah, that's funny. That's in Iran, in buses, you have one section for men and one for women. Okay, and you cannot go. So sometimes, like a couple of times, I was in a rush, so I just got into the bus and I say, oh, with women. I see people say, just go away, go away. But it's not such a big deal, but yeah, you have to be careful. This is Tehran, at sunset, 15 million people. Persepolis, 2,500 years old, burnt to the ground by Alexander the Great in about 300 BC or something. India. So India is old school, okay? So that's, everything is backwards, but it's fun. So you just walk on the street and you just have a look around and you see plenty of marvels. And so that's people ironing on the street. There's always a lot of colors. It's like typical traditional saris for women. This is in a very countryside as well. Cricket is everywhere, but like they play with nothing, and it's not really a proper field. This is a local fisherman. Rajasthan in India. Jaipur. This is Holi. Do you guys know about Holi? The festival of colors. So it's a festival. It's like it started in India and Nepal, but like now it's all over the world. It's usually the third full moon of March, but that's so people use it as a party. thing, okay? But like the real Holi story is like, it's a long story, but basically people, it's very astronomical. So basically they relate to the placement of the stars and of the planets, okay? And at exact time during the night, so this time we woke up at 3 in the morning, we made a big fire to burn, sorry, the spirit of Holika, which is a bad woman who wanted to kill his her nephew, the prince. And so the tradition wants to, so it's a very special time because people believe that if they celebrate Holi properly, they would get a big harvest for wheat, because there is no water in Rajasthan, so it's very important. And this is buffalo poo, so they put like buffalo poo on the head because it's like it brings luck. It's a lucky thing. But it's dry, so it doesn't smell and stuff. Don't worry. I did it as well. So this is Holi. It's a very fun festival. It's very cool. It's full of love and compassion and sharing, and it's very nice. So you end up the day in very bad condition usually. This is Shivratri. It's a celebration of Lord Shiva. You know Shiva, the god with many arms. Hey, Kambawa. So the colors are just amazing. It's so beautiful. All the outfits, all the colors. It's quite stunning. So that's local people in a small village. I spent 3 months in India in very small places, like villages with like 50, 60 people. They had, most of these people, they had never seen any white people before. This is called Mandi. It's a traditional henna tattoo, but like a temporary tattoo. So they do it a lot for weddings and yeah, a lot of bangles and bracelets. This is in a temple. This is at a school, so it's not just like a meal. People, I mean, kids just eat on the ground and with their fingers, and yeah. You have a bed everywhere in India, in shops, and like this is a wheat field, and because it's so hot that they sleep all the time. I mean, like they have a nap, a nice siesta, and yeah, traditional houses. Honey. So camels everywhere. Cobra taming. Playing cards everywhere on the street. This is a wedding. I wanted to show you like a typical wedding in India. I was invited there. I was very lucky. It's just beautiful. It's like a fairy tale, and there is like the whole process takes 4 hours. It's quite amazing. So first I mean the future husband gets like blessings and everything. This is the wife. She's very sad, and it's not the picture. I mean, like all the women are very sad in India. I mean, in the Hindu culture, when they get married, because they leave the household, their family, and so they feel sad about it because they live with their family until they get married. For you, maybe it's normal, but like in the West, for Western people, I mean, we usually leave our parents way before we get married. We have our life, but for these people, they never do that. So it's very special. So I mean, you can feel the sadness. It's very powerful. And then they are together. It's like women. Usually it's women cutting wood in India. So bringing it back at sunset. This is like traditional clothes for to go to school for kids. Unity, strength. This is where I used to teach. I taught there for a couple of weeks. Still Rajasthan, beautiful architecture. same colors. A traditional cow, of course, Indian cow. This is in Goa, further south. And back to the north, this is in Ladakh, a beautiful place. It looks like Tibet. I mean, if you ever want to go to Tibet, I